Welcome to Path of the Brush here on Gen Con TV. I'm your host, Rick. We're coming to you live, at least I'm coming to you live from Hoplite Games here in Lansing, Michigan. We're really excited to be here tonight. We are continuing with our 50th anniversary for Dungeons and Dragons, where we're painting miniatures that you can play in your D&D campaigns, whether they're official miniatures or not. It doesn't matter. We're just, finding a way to put them into our game. Let's bring forth the producers. Dun, dun. There they are. Hey, Mark. Hey, Will.
Hello.
Ooh,
Hey,
there
there
you
we go.
Nice. What's up, gents?
Yeah.
I missed you guys last week, I gotta say.
Yeah, well, we thought you were like, we weren't sure how well you were going to do on Under the Knife. We heard that it was touch and go.
Oh yeah. Well, I came back. I survived.
You survived the ordeal.
We did. So what are you guys painting?
I am
Well-
working on a mind flayer.
Nice.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. From the Frameworks line from WizKids.
Yes.
Yep,
Oh,
that's
very
super
nice.
cool.
Flays
Yeah.
the minds. And it's
Yeah,
pet dog brain.
that's super cool.
So-
Yeah, I'm working on I'm working on these characters that I'm going to use as gods or avatars of gods for the Stormcrest Chronicles, which is a homebrew campaign I run here at the store. And these are going to be some of my sea gods. So I'm working on the humpback sea god here. He's kind of the brutish one that's going to be like, will kind of sound a little like King Shark from the Suicide Squad. Yeah, I'm smart, I am.
He looks
But he-
great now that you got some paint on him.
But
Yeah.
he's going to be brutish. And then another one of them is this walrus creature here who has like a shark trophies that he wears as part of his armor kit here. And then I'm also working on the big boss, the big god of the sea here, this like big blue whale looking or sperm whale looking monster here with the giant trident and sword, and he's wearing some form of armor and everything. But it's going to be pretty cool when it's all said and done. But yeah, these are my avatars of the sea here.
Very nice. Very
Got,
nice.
to see, got to see that lovely guy in person over the weekend. That's a big model. It's a
It
big
is.
chunk.
What about you, Mark?
So I was late to the ball game, and but I still want to do a beholder. So I know you guys, Hoplite did the contest for it, and didn't have time to do it to make for the contest. But this guy's been sitting on my shelf for a while, so let's get this funky monkey
Nice.
on the table, right?
Yeah, and also if for everybody watching, if you go to the Hoplite Games Facebook page, there's a photo of all the entrants for the contest there. So if you want to go and look and see what everybody put in, that would be awesome. And I'm sure they would like comments and stuff like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
And there's some really good ones. I think the best one is the one with the skulls as the base, but that was not the one that won. I'm curious if folks jumping on would be able to figure out which one did win first place from the community voting.
I have to go grab those pictures to share them here in a minute.
Mm-hmm. They're really nice.
Yeah. It's nice to see him in person.
Yeah.
A lot of people participate too. That was great.
Yeah, we had 12 models get submitted, and everybody, did their own thing, which was great. And you got to see everybody's personality in their miniatures. And one of the ones that I thought was super fun was a gentleman who actually took and clipped off all of the eye stalks off the beholder and then took green stuff and created a costume for the beholder to make him look like Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc.
I did see that one. That one was great.
So funny. Yeah. So we're here at Hoplite Games here in Lansing, Michigan, and we've got tonight is what we call AMG night or Atomic Mass Games. So we have some folks playing Marvel Crisis Protocol and another group playing Shatterpoint, Star Wars Shatterpoint. And then we also have a card game called Flesh and Blood being played. We're doing an armory tournament tonight. So that's super fun to see everybody come out and playing games here at the store. And I can sit here and watch them as we're doing this live stream, which is super cool.
That is very cool. How's that Flesh and Blood play?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I haven't played it yet. I gotta get it. I gotta get one of these cats that come in that plays it to give me to show me how to play.
Oh, that makes sense.
I'm a bad store owner in that I don't know every game on my shelf.
There's so many
That's
games, so little time, right?
Right.
That's a Herculean task there.
Yeah.
Ooh, 10 points for Will, Herculean.
I'm curious to know what everybody that's watching. What did you all do in the past week since the last episode? What miniatures did you paint? What games did you play? Did you go and visit your friendly local game store? And if so, what's your friendly local game store? So all the questions. So get in the comments and let us know, because we we're curious.
Yeah, were they doing anything for Free RPG Day?
Right.
Yeah,
That
you
was
guys
this
did a big
past Saturday.
turnout. Big turnout for that, right?
We sure did. We had over 300 people come through our door. And what was really fun about it is a lot of the folks that came out were new to our store. They hadn't been here yet. So now they know we're here, and hopefully that'll turn into members of the gaming community hanging out here at the store, getting into some of the tomfoolery we have going on. And I think that's one of the big things that a lot of the stores are looking to hope happen is they'll get new customers that'll become long-term customers at their stores. Granted, you always hope for good sales on days like that. And yeah, we had a good day in sales, but I'm more excited to see how many people return to play games for board game night or show up for paint night or just any of the other, multitudes of games that we have available for them to play just from our game library. So pretty excited to see how that plays out.
Yeah, first introduction for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there was this guy named Mark who came in for the first time.
Well, it was good to come by, check it out, and it was getting packed. So I was like,
Mhm.
let some of the newcomers hang out and sit and paint and do their thing. And but yeah, great rotation. Super proud of you, man. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks. Thank you. It's kind of wild considering we've only been open we're just coming up on 9 months now, and we've already gone from a small store to a larger space, and we've had so many people from the community come in and participate in the things we're doing. It's definitely it's nice to see that we're able to provide what the community wants, and they're really gravitating towards it. So hopefully only good things from here on out.
Yeah.
I was impressed by you had 12 people jump into a painting competition before your store was open.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I love it.
I know a friend and his daughter, because I swung by a couple times to drop off some stuff for display and then to bring the family in.
Yeah.
And when I came there the first time, a friend of mine and his daughter and his partner were there. And I don't know if that was her first time painting miniatures, but I saw her at the paint table coming in. Like, oh, awesome, another one. Yay.
Nice. Yeah, it's kind of curious, where people are starting their path, right? Their first steps on the path of the brush. And I really like it when it's their first time is here at the store, sitting around a table with a community of individuals that they don't know who they are, and they're just getting to know them. And, it's just really nice to see new painters really embrace the hobby. And I think we're doing a really good job of facilitating that here. And yeah, so if you're from the Lansing or Michigan area and want to come paint with us, come on in Thursday nights, paint night.
I'm going to try and bring my sister that I was just talking about in tomorrow.
Yeah.
See if she's
Nice.
feeling up to it.
I think she is. I think she's feeling up to it. Yep. So the other cool thing about Free RPG Day is there's a lot of Dungeons and Dragons modules or 5e compatible modules in the offerings, and we had a bunch of people playing samplings of those modules here as well. And it makes me curious is beyond the core set of Dungeons and Dragons, what other 5e compatible game systems have you played, those of you watching? And and why do you gravitate maybe to those other campaign settings, if you will? And that's also for you guys too, obviously.
Almost everything that I've done besides that Ravenloft campaign that we went into, and even that, it's mostly just been homebrew.
Okay. Homebrews are great.
Oh yeah.
I'm curious as to what was the main theme behind the homebrews that you've played in, like world theme.
The story that the DM was actually trying to tell was usually completely upended by the players going off and doing random things. So it was whatever he was attempting to do usually didn't happen, and he had to think on his feet.
Okay.
A lot of improv.
Okay, that makes sense. That seems like a pretty normal thing that happens with homebrew campaigns. How about you, Mark?
Kind of like there's that Call of Cthulhu, but you can do it as a 5e, kind of that, there's a lot of horror theme stuff. So play group can't get too deep into it. But it was nice to be able to, use some of that 5e quick rules, if you will.
Yeah, for sure. That's
for
cool.
some of that, and you're not doing percentage dice and stuff as the normal Chaosium stuff. It was a little bit of a change of pace for that. I know a lot of people are getting into like the space realms as well. Do you ever get into any of the like the alien style?
I mean, I've played like Gamma World and stuff like that, but in 5th edition, Spelljammer is like my go-to, and I enjoy that. It's kind of cool to have the ships that are driven by what's called a Spelljammer, where that basically eats magic, or it works off the magical energies of a character, or depending on the type of ship, like the dwarves, they basically feed their furnaces of their Spelljammers with magical items to keep them going. It's freaking crazy.
Well, that's very cool.
Yeah. So I like that as my like sci-fi version of stuff. A system that uses 5e that I also really enjoy is like Everyday Heroes. It's a more modern, like a D&D modern, by a company called Evil Genius Games, and like they basically skinned a lot of their like expansions with like movies from the 80s. So if you want supernatural beings in your game, you can bring in The Crow. If you want immortals, you bring in the Highlander rules, right? If you want kaiju or Jaegers, they have the Pacific Rim rules that you can add into your modern campaign settings, and which I think is kind of neat. They had Universal Soldier for like cyborgs, Kong Island or Kong of Skull Island. But that one you can only really play on Kong, on Skull Island, because of the setting itself.
Oh, interesting. And those are all licensed for that as well.
Mm-hmm. They
amazing.
Sure are. Yeah. So it's pretty cool. And there are others. Escape from New York, for like a post-apocalyptic.
Little Snake Plissken, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So it's super cool, and definitely worth taking a look at it if you are into some more modern role-playing games, especially with like the new Highlander series coming out, or movies coming out with Henry Cavill as
Wait, what?
Duncan. What?
Yeah, I didn't know he was coming out.
Yeah, he's playing the Highlander.
Get out of here.
Yep.
I was just watching something about Sean Connery trivia came up, and he did all of his scenes in the Highlander in a week, and I guess he had a bet going with the director that he wasn't going to be able to, complete it all in a week. And he did. He got $1 million for 1 week's work or whatever.
Nice.
And back then, back in the mid-80s.
83, 84, something like that.
Yeah, and then it talked about Queen doing the soundtrack for that original Highlander movie.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they were supposed to do I guess they were hired to do one song, but they loved the movie so much that everybody wrote their own song for it or something like that.
Right.
Which was kind
That's
of
cool.
Yeah.
That's cool trivia right there.
That's awesome. I was just grabbing those beholder pictures that are on
Nice.
the Discord. There was 5 out of them. I think there was 5.
5 what?
No, there's 6 pictures that were put on Discord for people to look at. If we can.
But
check it out.
if you go to the Facebook page, there's all 12.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me head over there.
And then we can all laugh and have a good time with Mike Wazowski. So good.
now that the contest is over, there's low pressure for me. You know what I mean?
That's right. We should still put it on display here at the store for a little while so people can see it. And
Yeah.
go,
No.
ooh, who did that? And we can be like, it was Mark. May he rest in peace. And they'll be like, what happened? And it's like, he didn't show up in time because he was under the knife. Oh my God, is he okay?
Sure.
R.I.P.
Do we know who did the Mike Wazowski one?
Do not. I'm really bad at some names because I haven't committed all of the folks to memory yet. But it sucks because he's here every Thursday painting.
He's here right now, he says.
No, he's not here now. I don't see him. But he did such a fun job, and it was so fun watching how he was getting excited by it. So
Nice.
yeah.
Oh, I was grabbing the usernames from Discord, but I don't have those here.
Did buy a 3D printed base
Ooh,
that I'm
nice.
going to put on. One either has a bunch of skulls around it, kind of and then other one has I don't know, it's a raised stone edge, but I think the skull one will be kind of neat.
Yeah, because only skulls, right? More skulls, always add skulls.
Yeah, more skulls when you can.
But it's the best thing you can add to any miniature is more skulls. More skulls, a little blood splatter, good to go.
So you guys been watching any? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, for those of you watching, if you thought that coming in watching this was gonna be like an educational thing, I apologize.
We just kind of catch up and we talking about some different things. We will get into a little bit of painting technique here
Sure.
once in a while, but nothing too wild.
I think we answer paint questions if they're asked in the
There you
chat,
go. Yeah.
right? And then we'll do that. But it's really just we want to give you, the viewers, if you're a painter as well, something to listen to and hopefully enjoy and watch as we do some painting, obviously. But a time where you can block it out for the week, from 7 to 8:45 ish every Wednesday Eastern. I can sit down and paint with Rick and Mark and Will and whatever guest we might have on. Speaking of guests, July 24th, I think we're gonna have a guest that you might want to tune into and watch. What do you guys think? Should we spoil it now or wait?
I think you should spoil it. Get people excited.
Yeah.
That's right. So Peter Atkinson, the owner of Gen Con and the head honcho here at Gen Con TV, will be on our show, and we'll be asking all sorts of questions about what to expect at Gen Con this year, the history of WotC while he was there, the things that he got really excited about, and what's really a passion and excites him today in our hobby. Those are just some broad strokes of what we'll ask, and he'll be painting with us. He's going to be painting a D&D thematic miniature. We're not sure which one he'll be painting, but we're excited to see what it is, and it's going to be a good time for sure.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So mark your calendar, July 24th. It also happens to be my birthday. I'll be 52 on July 24th.
Woo.
Yeah.
Nice. Happy early birthday.
Thanks, brother. Yeah.
All right, I think I got them here.
All right.
So
Let's look at some beholders.
Oh my
there's
God.
the one that Rick did.
What?
You guys might remember that from last week. Had a couple skulls, just a few.
Just a few, only to make it look better because skulls make everything look better.
Did you glue those skulls on individually?
Nope. Well, sort of. I used green stuff, and I just pressed it into the green stuff.
Okay, but they're all individual skulls.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Great.
And this one was done by Digital Zero from the Discord.
Digital.
Yep.
Digital.
That's James, and that one did win a category, most metal.
That was
That's
his
pretty
giant
awesome.
piece.
Most metal.
James.
And this is Caramel Yoshi.
That's like a very traditional, looking great. The eyes, detail in the eyes is amazing.
It's crazy, and he did win best eye.
Okay.
And what's funny is the eye is the lens. He painted over the lens, and I actually think it looks amazing because it actually looks more of how the image looks on the books and stuff, with the eye being like more prominent to the front instead of recessed behind the lens.
Then we have
Thought it was great.
Sprocket's Folly. I think this one will show up again because he had a really good base.
There's
So
the mushrooms on there, and
yeah, this is the best overall miniature.
you can't tell in this photo. I did see it in the case, but kind of like that uplighting he did with the, phosphorescence looked really nice.
Yeah, he did a great job.
And this one was done by the Thin Ox.
Right. I can't remember who that is. I'm the worst.
And then these are the ones I grabbed from Facebook that I don't have usernames for.
Okay.
There's that one.
So that's Annie, I think.
Okay.
Yep, Annie did that one. She used a lot of glitter, and it doesn't really translate in the photo, but there is a ton of glitter on that miniature.
The sparkliest beholder.
The sparkliest
It's
beholder.
like one of those holiday bags that they leave at your house, and it gets glittered everywhere.
Yeah.
There's
That's
that one by Digital Zero again.
Yep.
And I don't think I had that one earlier.
No,
Multiple
that's a good
colors.
one. Yeah, that was fun.
And here's another look at the one with the base.
Yeah, that's a better shot of it.
Yeah.
And that was like a true display base too, which is kind of neat, routed and all.
Nearly had a plinth. And finally, we got that one, which was still, I think that's still Caramel Yoshi. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one with the big eye. So we didn't get the one that's very avocado green. That was
You
Jeff's.
talking about this one?
Are you doing a green one?
Yeah,
Nice.
great fun.
Nice.
Just the base coating right now with a little bit of green skin from our buddies at Fanatic War Paints.
What? The army painter.
The
My
tap.
son Bruja says, what if we thought it would be funny?
Oh, we did get Mike Wazowski.
Yeah, I'm looking for him.
I did see that on the Facebook post of the.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mike
hold on. It's going in right now.
Wazowski. I think.
And there we have Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski.
That's
So good.
so yeah, he really green stuffed the heck out of him.
Yeah. It's so good.
It's fun though,
Now, let me see if I can find that avocado one. Mr. Wazowski.
It's got a little bit of like foliage on the base, and then there's the one that's like flesh toned and has a tree that it's like bursting out of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one was neat.
Yeah, that was Lucas is who did that one.
There's one that was flesh colored, and I don't think I got this one. More beholders.
More beholders. All of the beholders.
Yeah. All right. I just grabbed the rest of them.
Nice.
So we were talking the Highlander as you're pulling those up.
Mhm.
The movies growing up, those are awesome. Did you enjoy the show as well?
I thought the show was better.
I agree.
Yep. Was that Duncan McLeod or Connor?
That's Duncan,
Connor.
right?
Yeah, Duncan is the TV show. Yeah.
And then Adrian, whatever.
Adrian Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife
Right.
was a huge fan of that show. You got once you said there was going to be more Highlander coming, she nearly tackled me to ask you
I
guys.
heard her in the background. Yeah. I was like,
What?
Her eyes got so wide.
Nice. All right. Did we already see the other beholders?
I'm
Last-
just grabbing the last two.
Oh, okay, okay. I wasn't sure if I missed them.
yeah, you just got to nag harder, you know?
No, I nag harder. Jesus, man.
Get him. Hey, did we see those beholders yet?
Well, I've been
No,
looking
not
down at
quite
my
yet.
thing. Sometimes I do miss stuff.
Yeah, no.
Marked.
It's fair.
All right. I think that's all of them. I hope so.
There was a funny video meme. It was like when you're creating a PowerPoint for work, and then someone says, "Hey, how's that PowerPoint going?" And they go, "That PowerPoint you gave me an hour ago." And they go, "Yeah. How's that looking?" And it's like, "Well, you're not going to like where it's at right now."
All right. Here's another one. I don't think I got this one earlier.
Yep, that's Jeff's.
Okay. That's the avocado.
Oh, he's
Yeah,
got the
that's-
bloodshot eyes. I did like his detail of the eyes and the teeth. Real grimy.
Yeah.
And then we have that one. It's also at bloodshot eyes and is shooting stuff out of its other eyes.
Mhm. Yep. That one is Sammy's.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's the one in the foliage.
That's nice foliage.
Or
Yeah.
is it an explosion?
Just blow, like coming through a tree line.
Could
Yeah.
be the king of flatulence, though.
It could be. Could be explosive gas. A giant stinking cloud has been cast.
Or a play on the cool guys don't look at explosions. They don't look at
Ooh.
explosions like 10 times.
That's right.
Yeah.
No eyes are looking back, only forward.
Looking at that tiara. I loved that idea. That would have been a really fun campaign. The tiara of skulls.
Heck yeah.
Oh, we got a question. In all seriousness, so this is from La Bruja. In all seriousness, though, I have a question. I dislike painting, but I'm kind of getting sick of defending my gray plastic, so I painted a few. Now everyone can't help but criticize my skill. It's getting kind of annoying. Oh, painting should be viewed at like golf, buddy. You're like your score is your own, and that's
Yep.
the only person you're competing with. And,
That's correct.
If you're not painting for competition level, I don't feel like people should be coming at you with advice unless you're asking for it. I'm sorry if you're getting that and if it's turning you off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be. What type of miniatures are you painting right now?
I'd also challenge them, be like, if they don't paint, be like, well, could you should paint one. Well, I don't have any skill. Well, then.
Right. All right. I think I got my base coat going on here. So I did a little magenta in the mouth. You know,
Nice.
all
Oh,
that,
nice.
and then base coated
Ooh.
everything with the green.
Mhm.
And so I think I'm gonna try to do the eyes last, and then probably like the teeth bit. So maybe go after the gums, and then do some shading. Maybe get my strong tone on there.
There you go.
Nice. Are you
Lasan
gonna use your-
Bruja says he's painting Marvel Crisis Protocol. And,
Okay.
and everybody does actually paint that he's getting the advice from.
Okay. Well, again, it's not cool that they're throwing unsolicited advice at you. And I'm betting it's like, well, Daredevil's costume is really these 3 shades of red. I can see people being like that.
Yeah.
You just got to remind them, is like, depending on where you're at in your path of the brush, how far you are, how long you've been painting, you can always just let them know, like, hey, to mitigate them continuing, is like, hey, I appreciate what you're saying. I know I've got a long way to go, but this is where I'm at right now in my skill level. Um, and I don't have any and you can let them know too, is I don't have any interest in becoming a professional painter or a high level competitive painter. I want to have my miniatures painted to the point where I'm comfortable with it, and I can put them on the table and feel good about it. And you're not being a good friend if you're knocking me down on a game that I enjoy. That's how I would handle it. And I'd also handle it a little differently if someone in here was coming at people about their paint jobs in my store. I'd be like, all right, we're gonna have a talk.
Yeah, it should be encouraging. I mean, sometimes it's good to get a little bit of, but they should know when to, let it go.
Right.
And
Right.
sometimes you're like, hey man, I'm just frantically trying to get this on the table to play, and I want to, don't want to be stark gray anymore. And yeah, it's one of those things that like I was terrible when I first started. It's like little D&D. What are those like frog looking monsters, slags or something like that?
Slod.
Slods. And
Yeah.
they were like seafoam green and like the shiniest thing ever. And I was so proud of it.
And you should have been, because that was awesome.
Yeah, right. But at the time, I think the DM we were playing with little electrical caps. Like the little like twist caps you would do. They had red and yellow. So like medium threats would be like yellow, like a pack of wolves or something. Or they were like old school, so they'd play with like there's 20 wolves coming at you, so they would do them with like just excited dies, and then like they would roll them up when they would had 4 hit points or whatever on them.
Yeah.
And so I was like, it was better than that. You know what I mean? So it's just like that progression. Is it making the game more immersive? Like that's all that matters, right?
Sure.
And those are some tough minis because I actually just pulled out. It's funny that you said Marvel Crisis Protocol. Last Christmas, I got a couple miniatures. I got the base game the last Christmas or the year before. Anyways, it didn't make it to the table. Finally got it assembled, the base one. But then I had this cool Ghost Rider that I'm going to put together at some point here. So
nice.
We'll have
So
to
he asked on the Path of the Brush ? So the show, our painting show, is called the Path of the Brush. All right. And it's to represent, like, we all are on our own path in regard to our hobby and our art. And where you are on your path is going to be different than everybody else around you, right? And it should all be about encouraging each other to be. If you want to be a better painter, ask the questions of those painters that you admire, how they do the things they're doing, or whatever. Watch the videos of the techniques you want to learn, and then continue on your path. And like most things, this should be not a get to a point and stop. It should be a learning thing all the time, right? So it's a continuing practice, right? I wanted to do Way of the Brush, but that was already taken. But it sounded more kung fu with the whole Way of the Brush, but Path of the Brush still kind of fits that as well.
Encapsulated that nicely.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna do a little purple, go in the opposite of color wheels here for his where he gets adjunctivitis from
nice.
the gaseous clouds on others' pillows. If you remember Knocked Up, but yeah, I'm gonna do the little bit of purple for the outer gums, and it's like his under eyelid is his under gum as well. So it's a cool mini, really. I've not painted one of these yet, so very cool.
Very nice. All right, so my base browns on my Walrus God here are coming around pretty well on the flesh bits. I'm gonna do over the face now, and
oh yeah, look at that. And something for Lassam Bruja too. If you're not necessarily, if you're on the Path of the Brush, like, and not necessarily for like putting a whole lot of detail into them, but like getting stuff colored to make them tournament ready, like, because most places have a minimum 3 colors on there. Your path could just be the expedience, trying to be faster about it rather than putting more talent in it. And there's a talent to that expedience as well.
absolutely.
Yeah,
That's That's another painting competition I want to hold here at the store. Is a speed paint one where everybody gets a model. They don't get the same model. They get a model, and they have an hour and a half or hour 45 to paint the model, and then and that's base it everything in an hour 45, and then they get judged by the community after that.
Nice.
Yeah.
I feel like we're conditioning for that right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Early episodes. I mean, this is nice because we've had like 3 episode blocks that settle into a project a little bit. But yeah, early ones would be we would have about an hour and a half to kind of rock one out, and that was we were kind of done. We did some cool stuff. I think this guy was one of a D&D from season 1 at least. But it was like a cave troll, coming at you. Watch out.
Oh yeah, the Rostic game
Rastafarian guy. He had the little
Rastafarian troll.
He's a Rasta.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I need a base.
A really cool scope.
Yeah,
that base for him.
I need to get him based. Yeah, I got a base,
okay.
but I need to add some stuff to it.
Oh, okay.
That's a 50 mil, I think, right?
Oddly, I think a 28 millimeter model, but they're a large.
It's on a larger base. What base is
that?
Yeah, it's a big guy.
Mm-hmm. I have bases here at the store for that size model from WizKids. So
they're saying, is it 40 or 60? And I was guessing 50. 40 millimeter. Okay, it is a little smaller.
I'm actually hoping I can finish up this Mind Flayer pretty quickly because I still have that horde of undead that I want to finish up.
Nice.
And that all still counts as PG. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Heck yeah. I had a really cool talk with a particular company that makes those miniatures that we're speaking of, the Horde of Undead, to become an exclusive partner in paint for upcoming conventions where we're running paint and takes.
Oh, we got to do Epic Encounters?
Epic Encounters, Animal Adventures, and anything else they might make that have miniatures as a part of their product line.
Fun.
Yeah.
But I still need to base this guy, but that was that Epic Encounters. That guy there.
Yeah, the Manticore.
That Manticore was sick. Yeah.
We had let's see if I can get it in there. But yeah, ended up doing like the I don't know, a little bit of gradation on the wings with just the brush, which was a fun thing to do. Going crazy with the dry brush. I think that's the biggest technique I've enhanced over the past year is like dry brushing, and not just dry brushing for like rocks or just like, overly dry, but using it, more throughout the whole model was kind of a fun thing to do.
Finding the right spaces to use those techniques.
Yeah. Can't use a handle for everything, but.
Yeah, for sure.
I always want to be careful where I'm doing the dry brushing because like some of the stuff it can make things look dusty, like put those dots on it. So you gotta pick your places.
Oh, for sure.
Now we are giving painting tips. What the heck?
I knew this would happen. Now
we gotta back up. All right. Nice. I feel like this Walrus guy is gonna have like great wisdom to give to folks. That's what he'd be known for, is the great wisdom of the sea.
I think he should be the Wilford Brimley from Remo Williams.
Oh yeah, or from Cocoon.
Oh yeah. That is magical.
Just not from The Thing.
Right. Was he in The Thing?
And the Carpenter one, yeah.
Oh.
Was he a homeless guy?
In The Thing?
Yeah.
No, he was one of the researchers on the station.
Oh, he's wearing the glasses still. I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
I actually we both have John Carpenter shirts. Mine was The Thing and yours was Big Trouble in Little China. And we wore them on the same day by accident, which was amazing. But anyways, I put my Thing shirt on the other day. I was like, man, I hope people give me tons of Thing trivia because I haven't watched it in a while, So
right.
that's something I want to do here pretty soon.
Okay. So how old was, or if you were to guess, how old do you think Wilford Brimley was when he did uh the movie Cocoon?
60, 60, 65.
Ooh, that's a good guess.
I was going to guess 70 because he was in that like retirement community, right?
Yep.
Before we answer this, if you think about the Golden Girls, right? They're like these older gals. You think they're way older, right? And they're like in their 50s. Did you know that?
Yeah. So Wilford Brimley, when he
I
was
just
in
looked it up.
Cocoon, so it says he was 50 years old when the film was released.
No way.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why I
Which
shave my
is
beard.
crazy.
That beard.
Which is crazy to think about because I'm going to be 52 this year and I don't feel like I look as old as he looked in that movie, right? And it makes me go like, well, at least there's some good genes there on my part, I guess.
Yeah, I would have to say that in the 80s, grandparents, uncles, they looked old. I mean, just
Yeah.
like real old, you know.
Yeah. It's
What
wild.
happened to Wilford Brimley to grizzle him so?
Oh, right. Yeah. He had to have lived a rough life. But he probably didn't because he was doing so well in, the
Hollywood.
movie space. Yeah. He had to have had access to whatever's keeping Hollywood young today. Back then,
Like oatmeal? He had access to
oatmeal.
oatmeal.
That's right. Quaker Oats. But, I know he was an advocate for diabetes awareness and
Mm-hmm.
study. Maybe having diabetes aged him faster. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Wilford Brimley.
He's got. I'm went to his Wikipedia page, and it is scant. There's very little here.
Really? What? That's a great use of a word, though.
Scant.
Scant.
Better than finding like a whole trunk full of scat, and I'd be like, that's not good.
Yep. That's
You know?
not good.
Some animals been in here. They
Dang
found
it,
it.
Wilford.
Oatmeal. They
Dang
found
it,
his
Wilford.
oatmeal.
What have you done? All right.
It just it's basically a list of the movies he was in and the commercials he was in, and that's it. So
Wow.
Will, I nominate you to remedy that.
I've got to go on the deep dive on the Wilford Brimley lore. I wonder if he has a autobiography. Let's find out.
If not, he needs one.
That's funny. If you don't know who he is, look him up, and then you'll be disappointed. No.
Well, what was also kind of interesting, you mentioned Golden Girls earlier,
Yeah.
and the lady who played the eldest, that played Marge, or not Marge,
Yeah. The
yeah,
mom.
Rose, yeah, the mom. She was the youngest of all of them.
That's wild. Yeah.
Yeah. It was crazy to think that she was, like, in some regards, like many years younger than the other actress.
The Arthur, right, is like I think was the oldest.
Was a taller one.
She was the oldest.
Yeah, and she was a former Marine.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, former female Marine.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I have just learned that Wilford Brimley does not have an autobiography, so this is going to be a real short trip.
That was unfortunate.
Missed opportunity.
For sure.
You hear Donald Sutherland just passed away.
I know.
Great movies,
Yeah.
Invasion of the Body Snatcher, like Animal House, I mean, the list goes on and on, but yeah.
Yeah.
MASH, the original MASH movie.
Yeah. He was also in Hunger Games.
Yep. So everybody else would know that. He's the jerk president.
Yep. Snow, President Snow.
He calls the insurrection in that movie, didn't he?
I believe so. I'm not a big fan of the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
The
But-
books or the movies or both?
I never read the books, so can't speak to those. So only the movies.
Did you just want him to be more?
I wanted to be less violence with kids.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of that.
That'll do it. I feel like there was, speaking of insurrections, there was the Insurgents and the what other things that they do, like Divergent, Insurgent, like all these
Oh yeah,
like teen movies came out at the same time.
yeah.
And there was one more. Was it Detergent? No, that was
No.
a Tide joint. That was something different. But they
That would have
it was
made
kind
a
of-
great. That would have been a great parody
Yeah.
from the makers of Divergence. We've comes a film where the future is not as clean as we'd hoped. We bring you Detergent, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
You're starting to agitate me, man. Well, you can actually remove the agitator and you get more of a wash, clean wash in the cycle.
Well, that's a great idea. Thank you. This is amazing. My shirt smells
Get
so
to the
fresh.
washer.
Get to the washer.
Run, go now.
All post-apocalyptic parody movies should have Arnold Schwarzenegger in it.
Yeah, why not?
What are you doing? Come on. Clean, damn you.
Uh, remember when I said that I was going to dry you last?
I
I
lied.
lied. Because I need to wear you tomorrow for the meeting. Yeah, just repeat all of his old. Jesus, I'm just spitting everywhere. All of his old one-liners.
Like it. It's like it too much.
Well, speaking of post-apocalyptic, it's a little too early to really get into it, but stay tuned.
I think that's way too early to get into it, but yeah.
But stay tuned.
There's something we got to cover. Yeah.
Look,
There
I
is.
do feel like there's a little bit of foreshadowing going on behind you there.
Yeah. What? Right there?
I like how you got your ring light, but you're not using it. It's my favorite part of
I
it.
have all my other lights.
The favorite part of the setup is just like, I have a ring light. I'm not going to use it.
That's for when I do my makeup tutorials.
There you go. For your LARPing. You actually had a whole LARP crew out there.
I did on Saturday for the free RPG day and everything. I had the local amped guard crew here, and they were showing folks, what that entails, the foam weapon combat and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I had to get out of there before I got a beanbag to the face, you know?
Lightning bolt. Ah.
Is that glitter in my eye?
No, it's unicorn. Well,
I mean, I feel like glitter in the eye would not just against the rules of LARPing, but against like the rules of warfare.
right.
Like that's a crime that the Hague would come after you for.
Oh yeah, you'd get thrown in the gulag quick for that one.
I mean, I feel like glitter is like the herpes of crafting supplies.
It is.
Yeah, like you get it and you can't get rid of it.
No, and you got to explain where you got it too. You know, I was like, no, I don't.
Right.
I didn't go anywhere.
How did I get that? No, I don't know.
Right.
They're giving it out at the store.
This is. I pretend you're really
Freaking-
into crafting.
Freaking glitter. It gets on everything, and it's there forever.
Now I could stop
Forever,
right
yeah.
here, and everybody would ridicule me.
Mm.
They'd call me
That looks
basement
great.
scum. No, it'd be good. It's like coloring in the lines. But I mean, you could just dip this. I got a thing of, a big old thing that you can just dip it in strong tone, like the old school. You get the pliers and like, blah, and then
Yep.
it would be ready to go, and no one would bat an eye. So
Right.
I think that's that's a good trick as well. If you're just getting it on the table,
Oh yeah, the dip.
just-
Army Painter makes the dip.
yeah.
Heck yeah, that'd be great.
Dip. Dip.
Dip it. I don't want to dip it. It's not to be dipped.
Dip it. Dip it's good. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, now I'm sitting there thinking about, you know, if Arnold Schwarzenegger were in a live action movie of one of my favorite animated shows featuring a barbarian, I think that'd be great. And it's like,
That-
you know,
That's a dream come true
right?
for young
But-
Rick, I'd imagine.
Well, it would have to be like 1982 to 86 Arnold would have to be who would play the character.
Well, that's peak.
Yeah, peak Arnold. Yeah.
You're not talking about the Conan.
No. Conan is my favorite movie of all time. And I didn't say it's the greatest movie, it's my favorite movie. So I don't want anybody coming on here going like, how can you say that, Conan, blah blah blah, because it happens, right? But it's my favorite movie. I get so much joy from just how ridiculous it is.
Oh yeah, warts and all.
Yes.
Speaking of glitter, I got my wife's glitter cup. I was like, I can't drink that online. I go, yeah, I can.
Noise.
That is a glittery cup.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if they dipped it with something. Army Painter doesn't make that type of dip, but it was like something that her mom got at a crafting show, and they put a photo of something on there, and
Nice.
I'm sure it's made of all sorts of toxins. But here I drink it.
Perfect.
Perfect. This is mostly healthy.
You know what would be a really fun thinking about like accessories to your painting toolbox. So
Wow.
one of our sponsors is Game Envy, who makes these amazing collapsible brush cleaner cups, right? And but if you were to do like you had the glitter cup there, or if you had to have your own special cup, right? We could still drop one of the Game Envy agitator pucks in the bottom of it. But
yeah.
I think it'd be fun to have cups that said different things about, the hobby of painting. Like, don't lick the brush, don't eat the paint, stuff like that. The silliness, right?
Yeah.
Little like quips, if you will. So if you were to get a cup that had a painting quip on it, what would you want as your quip?
This is not tea, so I know which one is.
Okay, this is not tea.
You have done that quite often. I'll think about this one.
Yeah. I had one for a while that said, is the juice worth the squeeze?
That's a good one.
All right. I used it on my old show called Painting Happy Little Minis. And now I want one that says something along the lines of like, I like, because we call this one Path of the Brush, but maybe something that speaks to that, like Bushido code, right? Never unsheath your brush unless you intend to paint.
Ooh.
Sheathing.
Something very samurai.
I'll get down with that.
I'd have to be a haiku then.
Ooh. Yes. How
Working
about everybody
awesome
watching? What is a quip you would want on your paint cup that speaks to your style of painting, or is a bit of encouragement, or just something fun? Let us know in the comments. We want to know, what is your favorite quip?
Inquiring minds want to know.
That's right.
or painting haikus.
Right. Or painting haikus. Yes.
Is it 575 haiku?
Yes,
Mhm.
575.
Still got it. Yes.
Yeah.
Rock and roll. I really am digging this green on the big whale.
Nice. Yeah.
Right.
Get him close. Let's get a
Yeah.
close on that guy. Solo him out.
I got it. Boom. Look at that big feller.
Oh yeah. I mean the wrinkles and the bumps and just like
Mhm.
in his epidermis. Look at that. Look at
And
that.
his epidermis.
Look at his epidermis.
His epidermis is amazing. That's what a great word.
Who knew this was going to be an English class, right?
That's
Yeah.
right. We're talking about the entomologies, or etymology of the creature here. Why would it have this colors under the sea? You know.
Under the sea.
If he's supposed to be like that, the greater god of the sea, like that sea green works, right? That's
Yeah. Also, another like strongest one there is the Hulk. The Hulk is green.
yeah.
You
Oh,
know, the madder he gets, the stronger he gets.
another painting technique here.
Mhm.
I feel like sometimes it's less of like painting as you're pushing paint into crevasses. You know what I mean? It's like, for example, like the little eyes, little things here. I'm
Yeah.
not just like really drawing the brush across. I almost like push it into the next like little crease. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
pushing it forward until you hit that like next plane, and then you stop and pull back. And and so it's like I feel like less of a large areas you can, and like flat planes you can really draw the brush across. But I feel like a lot of times because it's so small, you're pushing the point of the brush into
Yeah.
the next like, recess or whatever. So
Yeah,
that's
for
kind
sure.
of the way to think about it, rather than
Mhm.
you're attacking your tools just a little differently than like traditional painting on like a canvas, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
less
And
brush strokes and more brush shoves.
There you go.
Like that.
well, the paint I'm using on the big guy here is a Army Painter speed paint, which, as we know, is kind of like a mix of a wash and your paint, because it gives you that, so you don't have to necessarily do a true brush stroke. You're just pushing the pigments around because you have lighter and darker pigments of that particular color, and you're trying to get the darker pigments into those cracks and crevices as you mentioned, thus giving you the depth and shadow, giving your miniature much more technique or uh, I can't even think of the word now.
Texture?
Texture. Thank you.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. First try.
First try.
It's just kind of like a reverse almost of the traditional, painting where you do your base and then add your washes on top. It's like your washes first and then your highlights and building up. So it's just, and that's more like it is a speed paint, right? So it's easier to get it done and on the table, and sometimes it has a certain look. But I like mixing some of these, mediums together to achieve what you sometimes, can achieve, especially for like scales or dragon, or like you're doing some very like organic beast that you're working on right now. That's perfect for that. It like almost has like a molted like texture to it.
Yeah, it definitely takes and reduces your need to do multiple layers of painting to get the same effect. It's the speed paint, especially 2.0 by Army Painter, does it's like liquid magic. You're getting all the things done that you would like. Shoot, I think in less than 15 minutes, I've almost gotten the entire flesh parts of this model done. And I don't know how much I need to do to like lighten it up and highlight and do detail work on it, because it looks pretty good just as it is.
I'm struggling to remember the name of the dude from Army Painter that was on season 2, you think?
Yep. Adam,
yeah. And when he was painting, he mixed like standard paints with the speed paints, and he got some really incredible effects. I keep meaning to go back to that show because I want to remember what paints he used, because I want to paint horses just like he had done. They look
he's good.
Painting horses. No, that was a great episode. It was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Got to get him back on.
Yeah, we definitely need to. So in season 4, so we're currently in season 3. This is episode 19, I believe, right?
20.
Yeah, episode 20.
Wow.
Where is the time gone?
Yeah, what's happening?
Yeah. So this season has been painting what we play, right, or what we're playing. So we've done a lot of the miniatures that we painted this season have been miniatures that are part of game systems that Mark, Will, and I are playing with for the most part, right? Next season, we will be returning to our earlier format where we're going to get some industry professionals back on the camera with us and painting and talking about their brands. And we're going to get a lot of those individuals locked down while we're at Gen Con. So we're really excited to see how season 4 comes out and all the cool stuff we'll be able to talk about during that season.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Let's do a quick, let's see, the recap of what we worked on this season. So we did some conquests. So we were doing 3 episodes, which was nice because we could really get into it. So we did some conquest models. I was working on some trolls and Sea Yachtner. And Will, what were you working on for that stuff?
I was batch painting all sorts of stuff. I think I was working on my onslaught drones and my vanguards and my
City States a little bit.
Well, I don't have city states.
Not City States.
100 Kingdom.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that I painted, so it was some of them.
And I was working on the Tantor for the Wadroon, the orcs that ride dinosaurs, which is
super fun.
What a wackadoo, right, faction, but so appealing to someone like me. Obviously, I like the whole, the tribal concept. And I think we've during that
No, seriously.
Okay.
that batch of episodes. There we go. Yeah, during that batch of episodes, we realized that people don't ask each other what their favorite dinosaurs are anymore.
We did
Right.
do that. Right?
Yeah, and
You wanted to drop your dino knowledge, is what, and I'm always at a loss for
Brightness.
how much additional knowledge you guys have on stuff. But I'm like,
4, 5, 6.
I'm like the inferior nerd of the bunch because you guys definitely have.
come on.
Yeah, you definitely have it down with some things. Dinos was one of them. I was like, I thought I knew a lot about dinosaurs. Nope. I think Will had us beat. Will was the
Oh yeah,
most well-read.
Will is a virtual cornucopia of nerd knowledge.
Hey, you use cornucopia though.
I did
That-
because I was thinking about food.
Yeah.
So
It was a Thanksgiving cornucopia you were thinking? You're like,
yeah, always.
excellent.
Corey's actually been working on a haiku, so we might have one
Ooh,
Oh,
all
okay.
right.
here in a moment.
Nice.
While she's working on it, I do have a story to share with you guys from this week.
About
All right.
haikus?
So it's a little bit warm here over the last couple of days, and we know that the inside of the house was like 10 degrees hotter than the outside of the house.
Okay.
So we opened up the doors and we put some fans in just to get some fresh air flowing through.
Okay.
And that's important for the story a little bit later because we closed up, we went to bed, and around 2:00 you get up to go use the bathroom, and well, Corey gets up to go use the bathroom, and then I wake up to her screaming because a bat flew past her face.
Glorious. You have been claimed as a bat owner. Nice.
So there's a bat in the house, and then we started the kids got up because mom screamed, and they started to employ the time-honored tradition of removing a bat from your home, of running from room to room screaming as the bat flies around.
Have we
That's
talked about bats
glorious.
before on the show?
I don't
So
think we have.
I was able to get a towel and grab it as it lit upon the windowsill and took it outside.
Well, bats are just kittens that fly.
I don't know. When I grabbed it, it sounded like an angry chihuahua. It was making angry chihuahua noises.
It gets pretty crazy. We had a bat that just recently flew on like the back porch, like stoop or whatever. My wife came out and was like letting the dog out and whatever, and then like sat down and then on the top step and then like turned around, went back in, and then she looked down and there was like a decent sized bat. I mean, it's like, I don't know,
Okay.
5 inches long, whatever, but it was like kind of curled up there. But she was like sitting like inches away from this thing, and it didn't do anything. And I was like, all right, I guess I got to try to get it in a solo cup or something. So I get a little stick and try to nicely get it in the cup. And then it was like sprawled out like, the curse of Strahd. And like, it was like, and I was like, holy cow. And it was like, its teeth were going and everything. And I finally like my toddler's like in the yard, telling it to go, and then all of a sudden the thing just like takes off like a bat out of hell, and it goes
Wow.
flying into the neighbor's yard, And then after that, my
Nice.
wife was like, "You got to de-rabies the yard," like so. She's like
Okay.
made me do the rounds to make sure there's no like rabid animals in the yard.
Okay.
But I remember one time in college we had a bat. I think I had have told you about this before, but there was a guy lived in the attic. The
What?
eldest of the college guys lived in the attic, and it was kind of a cool pad. And
All right.
yeah, a bat was flying around, and there was only 3 of us in that. There was like 9 people lived in this crazy house, and 3 of us were there. And one guy had a cowboy hat on, the other guy had a hooded sweatshirt like pulled up like Kenny, Kenny looks from South Park, or like this. And another one had like 3 Stooges, like curly, like bald head with the curly hair, so the bat wouldn't get on his head. And so this motley crew was up there with like a tennis racket and like a towel and like a box and a sheet, and like we ended up just throwing bucket. We ended up just throwing a sheet on it and throwing it in the box and letting it out. And no bat was harmed during this. But the funniest thing was seeing people, and people were coming home from class in the bar or wherever, what time of night it was, right? And yeah, you got the guy with Kenny, and then like the best was like the curly wig, so it wouldn't land or crap or bite on it.
Hey, how you
doing,
doing,
Mage Clans?
Yeah, Mage Clans, welcome. What are you currently working on painting, Mage Clans? Again, inquiring minds want to know. #us.
All right, I got that haiku from Corey.
Oh, all right.
We got liquid shades darkness, liquid shades brightness revealed. Together brings art.
Ooh,
that's nice.
A good one. That's very nice. All right, that's very Bushido.
Thank you, Corey.
If anybody else has any in the chat, we'd love to hear your haikus about painting miniatures.
All I'm working on haikus, but they keep turning into dirty limericks, and I just can't use that.
Yeah, we can't do that.
No.
But
yeah,
let's make that a challenge for next episode. Is we each have to come in with our own haikus.
Ooh.
Chat GPT.
Oh
And I will resort to plagiarism.
The trick is you run it through Grammarly for plagiarism, and then you're okay.
Right.
And see it. Take that out.
I mean, we're not publishing it. It's not being sold. It's just it's a
parody.
Haiku challenge.
What kind of wacky show is this? People are like, this isn't about painting at all.
I mean, if they ask questions, it can be. Otherwise, they're going to get the tomfoolery that we bring with our brushes. That's right.
I feel like that should be next season. That's a thing. Intro, and it's like
like a Wu-Tang kind of.
Yeah. Shaolin shadowboxing.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of funny, thinking about haikus and the path of the brush and all the things that we do here on the show. But the greatest thing that has ever happened in our society is when one man broke his bonds to fight for freedom with his companions, Ucla and Princess Ariel. Because I don't know if you knew this, back in 1994, a runaway planet collided between the Earth and Moon, unleashing cosmic destruction and cast man's civilization into ruins. But it was 2,000 years later on their timeline, because that split the timeline into an alternate reality of chaos and everything, and our current reality, but and accelerated them 2,000 years later. And it was it becomes a strange new world of savagery, sorcery, and super science. And one man with his friends, Ucla and Princess Ariel, pits his courage, strength, and fabulous sun sword against the forces of evil. That one man is right there, Thundar the Barbarian. He's the best.
And if you're just tuning in, We do this
Vondar, the Barbarian.
episode.
Every episode. Painting some of my AOS Soul Blights. Nice. Speaking of Bushido, bought a miniatures game called Bushido. Hard to find in America, but the models are so awesome. Nice. I know there's a Bushido Road miniatures game that has like a very feudal Japan theme to it.
Same one?
So,
we talking the same one there?
I don't think we are talking the same one. I've actually, I know that there's another game just called Bushido that does have miniatures, but I don't think we're talking about the same one.
I think they had that. They were playing that at Adepticon,
I
and
did
they
see.
had a really
What's cool.
good display board.
Nice.
Japanese maples, little leaves and things.
Oh,
Am
I
making that
love
up?
maple
Or is
leaves.
that- I think that's what it was.
I love maple leaves.
Because they make maple syrup, or they mean maple syrup, rather.
They are a part of the maple syrup process, and it is literally one of the best things ever created on this earth.
It is
So you're
funny.
working on some soul blights.
Someone was walking by a tree one day. It was leaking some sort of juice, and they, it'd be good. Damn, a pancake.
I'm gonna drink some tree juice.
Yes, the lifeblood of this forest creature shall be mine.
Doesn't that make us tree vampires?
Oh, absolutely.
That would be a funny parody of someone tapping a tree for like maple syrup and blah blah blah, and then like a tree ant was like, it's like it's just
Tabletop Gurus is painting my son's first model. Nice.
Oh, really?
Starting him young. He is 4. Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
talking
awesome.
about. Sweet.
Very cool. All right, I finally got his little eye going here. Igor, I got to clean up around the side and then like little stalk eyes.
Are you going to call him Igor?
Igor, I should have called him Igor. Yeah, walk this way.
I mean, that's his name now.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah, walk this way, master. No, you are floating. You're a floating eyeball. Makes no sense.
did you
Damn
see?
your eyes, 2 legs.
Speaking of that, did you see Renfield, the one with Nick Cage?
Absolutely.
Was it good?
It was very funny. Yeah.
I got to check it out.
Yeah,
It's also the guy who played Beast in X-Men, right?
yes. He was also in another movie called Warm Bodies,
Okay.
and that actor has a really great comedic timing. Because for whatever reason, he's really good at like taking on the expression of someone who's like falling in love with a slow-mo camera pace, and he's just like, oh. Right? And he's playing Renfield, who is just
Love with Dracula.
well, he's not in love with Dracula. He's Dracula's murder puppet. Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's
Not
so
duty.
so good. Yeah, it's super funny. I enjoyed it. It's not again. I like cheesy B level movies, and that definitely fits my category of fun. So, I mean, it gets pretty violent though. It's a pretty violent flick. You
That's
might
a
go,
level of entertainment that we don't get as much of anymore. We need more bad movies.
yeah.
I do feel like the 80s and early 90s definitely had it was a subgenre, right? It was kind of like B movies were a thing, and
Mhm.
they were proud to be it,
There was
Like,
an art to it.
and all those like crazy action flicks, the canon movies and stuff like that. They
Mhm.
were made to be that just over the top like that,
Yes, they were. And it's funny is I saw a thing today actually. When you think about movies and the top grossing movies, the top 3 grossing movies of every year of from 1980 to 1989 were like some of our favorite like action adventure movies, right? I was like, whoa, that's crazy. They weren't the artsy, movies as much as they were like Top Gun and the Batman movie in '89. They were all very like comic book themed, and just silly. It was great.
Mage Clans just brought up Big Trouble in Little China as an example, and You were talking to your people, Mage Clans.
Big
Big-
from Little China.
Big
So
heart
good.
for that. Yeah.
I gotta ask you though, if some 8-foot tall mutant picks you up and taps the back of your favorite head against the barroom wall, what do you say to him?
Ooh. Are you talking about Lopan? David
No,
Lopan?
it's one of it's one of the monologues that he has in his truck in the very beginning. Well, you look that guy square in the eye and you tell him, "Have I paid my dues, pal?" "Yes, sir.
Yes, sir."
The check is in the mail."
It's so good. Oh, you're the owner of the abandoned truck over in on what? No. Oh man.
And your phone is dead, by the way.
What
Oh.
the hell?
So good.
With light coming out of his mouth. Yeah, okay, I guess I'm watching that tonight too.
Yeah. You mean the David Lopan? No, we must be thinking about the two different individuals. No, they are one and the same, Mr. Burton.
Oh
And
my God.
Egg Shen with his was it 9 demon bag? What's in it? Oh, yeah, what is it in it, Shen? What's in the 9 demon bag? Dear God.
Wind,
Doesn't it
fire,
do like,
that sort of thing.
They do that when they're fighting. They do the video game thing.
Oh
Have you heard
yeah.
of it?
Yep. I've always been better than you at this, Egg Shen. Ugh.
My favorite part is when they they drink a little bit of potion juice or whatever, and then they go in the basement of the restaurant. They pull up the fireman pole and they slide down into the underworld, the sewers or whatever.
Mhm.
And and they actually do have a beholder in there in some capacity, right?
Yeah,
They
there's a
do.
little eye tyranny looking thing that transfers his image, what he can see, into Lopan's eyes. Yeah, it's really good.
Fun
Two
fact: the
girls.
Three Storms inspired Raiden from Mortal Kombat, according to the creators. Yeah, when I saw Raiden from Mortal Kombat, in Mortal Kombat, my first time I saw the arcade game, I'm like, oh crap, they made they made a Big Trouble in Little China game.
Yeah. Well, that was my favorite character of the Three Storms, and what's interesting is the one guy who was the restaurant owner, basically became rain, or not rain, wind, right?
Yeah,
Because you had rain, thunder, and lightning, and then when he took the potion, he basically became wind and was competitively able to fight them, which is awesome.
and the main Three Storms guy was also in 100 Wu-Tang movies. Yeah,
There's no doubt.
And there's one guy that was in there. You see him in the beginning action scene. My friends and I all collectively call him the Mongolian. He's the guy with the stash.
Yeah.
Everybody knows who I'm talking about, but
Yep.
he was in every 80s action movie, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Force and all those. Yeah.
He's great. The thing I thought was funny is two girls with green eyes. What could this mean?
I was gonna bring that up too.
Yeah, some of the lines in that are so good. You know how the Chinese have a lot of hills. I'll send you to the hell where they flay people alive. It's like, what? The Chinese have a lot of hells, Jack. Good
The
Lord.
one that always gets me is when the reporter walks in and she's just like, "Oh, don't mind, it's just me, Gracie Law."
Right.
Is this a comic book? Are you going to tell us your powers next?
I feel like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles couldn't have their reporter.
Well, what's
April
interesting
O'Neil?
is
April O'Neil.
April O'Neil. Yeah.
It's like
There's
that kind of trope.
The explanation is, that's an actual like I would say a trope, but it's a writing style to those kind of movies where they basically tell you the most obvious thing about the thing. If you watch the movie, you're going to see that there's a lot of that where they just offhandedly just explain the scene, right?
Yeah, it is interesting. I feel like directors and writers back in the day just didn't feel the audience were very intelligent. You know what I mean?
No, it had nothing to do with that. It's literally a writing style for comedic exposition for in those B level movies.
Oh yeah, What is that stuff? The black blood of the earth. You mean oil? I mean black blood of the earth,
I
right?
mean, Black Blood of the Earth. So good. You leave Jack Button alone.
Mage Clan says Carter Wong was the guy. He showed up on my TikTok. Definitely older, but he's
Nice.
still ripped. Let's look that guy up.
That's awesome. Carter Wong.
Carter Wong. That is a big dude. Most
Is the
well
one-
known for Rambo 3 and Big Trouble in Little China. He was, I think he was Thunder.
Thunder.
He's the
is
one
it?
who exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
that's
looks
Thunder.
ridiculous when he gets so big at the end, too.
Oh, so good. Yeah. And it's like cabbage is what they throw out. Cabbage, carrots, and celery.
Thunder was a
good.
vegetarian, obviously.
Obviously. Or he ate a lot of veggie rolls or something. I don't know. But he was I think of all of them, he did not know a lick of English.
Yeah, he
Outside of
the line
like
that
the one
he
phrase.
gave was definitely just phonetic.
Yeah. Unlike if we go back to Solo, or not Solo, the new Acolyte movie or show on Disney
Ooh.
Plus.
Oh, yeah.
Unsponsored.
Sponsor.
The actor who is playing
Squid Games, right?
the actor from Squid Games. He learned English in the 4 months leading up to the filming of the Acolyte. He did not know any English until 4 months before, and he learned it. And I was like, that's some dedication to your art and your form, right? To learn a whole nother language, especially a language that is so phonetically different than your native tongue, right? So it's pretty impressive, and I can appreciate that guy doing what he's doing for the Star Wars franchise. So good.
I looked up Carter Wong and his the number of films that he put out. I'll put it this way: the year I was born, he was in 12 films.
In 12 films in 1 year?
In 1976, he was in 12 films. The guy, yeah, that's like the golden age of Golden Harvest films, right? I'm not saying he was working for the Triads, but he was working for Golden Harvest.
That is so good. All right, I'm looking to see if I have any metallics in front of me, but I do not. So I need to figure out something else to do right now with my guy here. My guys. I will use.
Wow. And he was the martial arts instructor for the Royal Hong Kong Police Department.
For real?
That's the only bit of trivia that they really have. But he taught an actual police department how to fight. That guy's legit.
Dang.
Yeah,
That's wicked. Dang. All right. I kind of want to put some metallics or something on my big guy's armor here, but I'm going to take the brown again and put it on the leather wrappings.
Gently rapping at my door.
Wrapping.
Nevermore.
Nevermore.
We're getting deep into poetry today.
There we are. People tuning in are going, what is going on here?
These guys.
These guys are crazy. So one of the things I think is interesting, I haven't got a full detail on it, but so Gen Con TV, the channel that everybody's watching right now, is going to have a table at Gen Con to promote the channel and get people encouraged to tune in and watch everything that's going on over here. So that's pretty exciting. But I don't know if we will be asked to set up with them or whatever, but I feel like we should be hanging around that table during certain parts of the day to promote not just Path of the Brush, but all the wonderful programming on the channel and hopefully get more people watching it, or at least aware, right?
Heck
So
yeah.
that would be super fun. All right.
Yeah, plan on definitely getting some content You know,
Yeah.
we bring back
Absolutely.
and maybe do some teaser stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. I'd love it if we could do like a public painting area so we could do this in person.
With people?
Yeah.
What? But people.
Mage Clans agrees that is awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. So everybody watching, if you would be so kind, if you haven't done so yet, hit the heart, hit the bell right here on Twitch so that you can be, following us and also get alerts to let you know when Gen Con TV goes live, because there's so many great content creators on the channel. You're going to find, besides Path of the Brush, which we all know you love, you're going to find some amazing content from some amazing creators to around the hobby of gaming that we all love, right? So, and if you are so inclined to actually subscribe, that would be awesome too, because every little bit does help go towards getting and making great productions for you all. So,
Almost went into my tea. So
perfect.
close. Just dodged it.
All right, so I didn't find any metallic, but I do like this gold. It's called Zealot Yellow for this like scaly mail like skirting that this one has. It doesn't necessarily have to be full blown metallic right now, but I think the gold is just a beautiful. It kind of gives me the whole Aquaman vibe, right?
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Getting into the Aquaman.
I'm a big fan.
You like the Aquaman? I like the Jason Momoa.
I like Aquaman in general. I also my favorite comic book character of all time, which we've talked about on here. Not cartoon character. We know who that is. My favorite comic book character is Namor, the Submariner from Marvel Comics, who is basically Marvel's equivalent to Aquaman.
He's
dark-haired guy
superior in every way. And
What?
I'm not saying that about him versus Aquaman. He's just superior in every way.
Yeah, and he would tell you that too, because that's how Namor is.
Yeah.
He's just a jerk.
What a jerk face.
He
He's
is.
a dark-haired guy, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
with elf ears and wings on his feet.
Yeah.
Yep.
What a
It
nerd.
is about shout out o'clock though. We should probably do a little bit of that.
We should. Well, we
You-
just kind of did for Gen Con TV. Big shout out to them. Also to the Army Painter, who is our exclusive paint sponsor for Path of the Brush, and also for the paint and takes that we do at the different conventions across the United States. They're amazing. They have speed paints, they have technical paints, they have all sorts of like supplies for basing and tools that you need for the hobby. But their big thing right now is their War Paints Fanatic. If you haven't gotten on board with that paint line, go check it out at your friendly local game store, or get it online or at from the Army Painter directly. Get it on your table. Find out which colors are going to be added to your painting toolbox, because we don't expect you to forego everything you use, but I believe that in that War Paint Fanatics, you're going to find a lot of new tools to add to your palette, to your toolbox, and to your Path of the Brush. They're so good. We also mentioned a little bit earlier our good friends over at Game Envy, who make the wonderful collapsible cup that we use here, and they also make the Phalanx Synth brushes by Game Envy, which are the brushes that we use. So check them out. They also make a hobby handle, so you can put your smaller miniatures on there to paint them. These bigger guys that I'm currently painting will not work on there. Also, you may have noticed beneath my board right here is a dry brush board, also made by our good friends at Game Envy. And we'll be using that. And I think we kind of said at the end of the season, but I don't think I'm going to put enough use on it between now and the end of this season. But maybe by the end of the fourth season, there'll be enough use put to this board that at the end, we'll send it to one of the viewers, signed by all the cast here. And it'll be a cool little thing to get. Because if you remember in our last episode, I mentioned a show called Eye of the Beholder, The Art of Dungeons and Dragons on Amazon, and Larry Elmore, who's one of my favorite fantasy artists of all time. There's a cool little thing about these these resting boards he uses that when he's painting and he uses his palette and he gets up there and he'll brush a little bit off on the board to get to the just the right amount of paint he needs for the next stroke. And that board, all those boards have like thick, like inches, 2-3 inches layers of paint, and all that paint is paint that has some association to it, everything he's ever done. So I thought that was cool, and we thought that would be cool with the dry brush palette here. So Mage Clan says, so I use mostly artist paints. I tried most full lines of miniature paints, been around for a bit. Golden so flat is what I use, but Army Painter metallics are really good. Agreed, they are really good. Army Paint Fanatic metallics, yeah. I do enjoy them. They're great.
I've been using this paper plate for a long time as a palette, so I might get that built up too, but it's not like a Larry Elmore thing. Somebody wants that, but that'd just be giving me my trash.
Nice. Also, shout out to Tabletop Gurus, the news channel produced and ran by our good friend Mark here. So go check out tabletopgurus.com, and also Hoplite Games. If there's not a game store near you, you can always reach out to us, and maybe we might have what you need or can get what you need. So yeah, we got all sorts of crazy going on. And if you're going to be at Gen Con, look for us. We will be walking around. We probably will find our way and have time at the Gen Con TV booth. So we look forward to interacting with everybody at the show, and let all your friends know to come by and say hi. So yeah, all the good stuff.
Yeah.
We
did it.
We did it. We did it. Dora the Explorer. All right. So back to that wonderful Zealot Yellow. I just like that word too, Zealot.
Oh, yeah.
There was a character in the Jim Lee's Wildcats from the 90s that the Zealot. Do you remember her? She was badass.
She was. I feel like she also had like a purple
costume. Yeah, purple magenta costume and two big swords.
Yep.
So that wasn't the dude with the red hood over his face. That was the first.
That was the Grifter.
Grifter, yeah. Who I believe is now in DC Comics.
Really?
Yeah, but a lot of those early Image characters found their way into either Marvel or DC. So like Angela, who was originally in Spawn, is now
Spawn's wife?
What's that?
That's Spawn's wife.
No, Angela was the Valkyrie.
Oh yeah.
The angelic Valkyrie character. She's now part of the Marvel Asgardian.
Whoa.
Stuff, yeah. And like I said, I think Grifter is now in DC.
A name like that, he sounds trustworthy.
Right. For sure. He's got what you need when you need it, but he's never there when you find out it wasn't going to work in the first place.
He was kind of like a combination of, I don't know, like Gambit and Deadpool. You know?
Yeah. A gun-wielding mercenary.
Yeah. But with a cool trench coat
and a weird like bandana handkerchief thing.
Yeah. When I first started drawing, like that super inspired me. And I've got these old like sketchbooks, and like I would try to draw. I think I did. I'll have to find it. Just to show, but it really got me into that era, you know. And that's
okay. That's pretty cool.
Zealot was the one with the dot on her forehead and like the three, like the war paint on her cheeks.
Yeah, war paint.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I just recently bought it on Prime, the cartoon. Do you remember that?
Whoa, barely.
The cartoon was not great. It was not that great.
No.
But it was it didn't age as well as I remember.
Okay. Oh, someone's looking something up.
I just had to look up pictures of those characters. That's all. Oh. See if they look like what I remembered.
What'd you think? It is interesting because they have Maul, which is we've talked about this before, but it's kind of like a Hulk style monster. You know,
he's like made out of concrete or whatever.
He's got like big, kind of like horns that grow off his back, but he is purple and green, but he also grows like super big. And
Right.
the other one's got like claws for hands. It's kind of a
Was that
Wolverine.
Death Claw?
I can't remember what his name is. He's got like almost like a hoplite style, what do they call like the Greek plume on his helmet type
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of like
Inspiration
taken from other characters.
Yeah, right.
He called people Bob. He was the best he is at what he did.
It's so weird. One of the publishing companies that came out in the 90s and early 2000s that I really thought had a lot of potential and legs was a company called CrossGen.
What'd they put out?
They put out Mystic. They put out oh man, there was one where it was like a female Robin Hood character. Man, I can't remember, but all the art in all of their books was just ridiculous because they would hire artists and they would have to be exclusive. They had exclusive contracts with CrossGen while they worked on their projects, which isn't great for the artists because they
can only do so much work, right?
Right. Well, yeah, there's only so much you can really do when you're trying to also feed your family and you need to do more work than what one title can provide, right?
Yeah.
A real true comic book artist is usually working on more than one title with other publishers, right? Just so they can, they're making what they need to make to survive. So it's kind of like I feel like it put a little bit of crimp on them. The company didn't last too long, maybe 3 years, but all the artwork was just amazing, and was one of the things that kind of I would like reference when I was painting miniatures back then. If I wanted to like do a certain kind of vibe on like a ranger or something. Oh, yeah, I do graphic design. Never sign those contracts. Yeah, exclusivity is not always great.
I feel you on the graphic design, brother.
All right. So this yellow is just kind of cool.
Did you guys? I don't know if you guys even read The Authority, but I just saw that they're doing another book with Jenny Sparks in it, which is wild because she was supposed to be this spirit of the 20th century.
Okay, that's wild.
Not sure where that story is going, but I think it's a DC crossover too, so that's got me my interest.
Well, The Authority, I believe, is going to be one of James Gunn's titles that he's going to be bringing to the cinematic universe. Right? That's DC, right? The Authority?
The Authority was a different one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't remember.
Did you guys ever get into like the Alien vs Predator and what was that?
Dark Horse.
Yeah. They did. Next,
it was DC under Wildstorm. Sorry.
Okay, DC under Wildstorm. Okay.
What you were saying?
Oh yeah, I was just wondering if you guys got into that stuff. I felt like that was it grittier maybe, or just just the sci-fi content. The art style was like a little more black and white, high contrast stuff.
Yeah, Dark Horse did really good with I thought they did really good with the Aliens and Predator franchises.
Mm-hmm.
I
thought they did really good with Star Wars too when they had it.
They did, yeah. And they had Sin City, which I love to death. It's silly and fun. It's like distilled Frank Miller, really.
All right. Oh yeah, I was gonna do Browns. Got a few more minutes.
We got some. Mage Cleanse tells us that we would be crazy to do graphic design. Mark.
Mark does graphic design.
Yeah. I manage graphic designers, so yeah. It can be a feast or famine, especially when I didn't work for more corporate stuff, So I definitely feel you.
Yes.
And managing artists just sounds like that. Did you do something wrong in a previous life?
Right.
It's less management of creatives where I'm at now, but yeah, and I would manage. I had like 10 different people I'd manage at one point. That was all creatives, and you definitely coming from a creative myself, but no creatives I would say equal, or like the same. Everybody has their own like temperament, way they look at life, and different things like that. And like it was interesting to have to answer to more the corporate bosses or whatever, but also like play in the same arena and get the actual work done, because that's like the true production artist got the actual work done,
Right.
and like how do you do that and be a cool manager. And I thought I worked it, and I was a cool manager. Every cool manager thinks that, but you know what I mean. But there was definitely it was not an easy task. And how do you stay super creative when you're doing corporate stuff? And that's why these hobbies come into play, right?
Yep.
Keeps you fresh. Yeah.
Yeah. Keeps that brain pan thinking.
Mage Clans say that they are a corporate designer, and you got to feed the family.
Yeah.
Right? Or at least you. But you said you had a kid who was painting, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Fellow brother
or sister.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, we'll get back to the painting show for just a second here. I ended up doing a little bit of a wash on this guy as well,
Nice.
and I got his teeth real grimy.
Nice.
Real grimy teeth is like the trick, right?
I like it. Oh yeah, those look like heavily plaqued.
He's got no phalanges to brush with, so.
The trick with the eye thing, I did like very thin strokes coming away from the pupil, to kind of have that like color kind of retinal or whatever.
Oh, nice.
Did a little metallic really on there. He inspired me with some metallic. But so still just one day, I'm pretty happy with this guy, I have to say.
Yeah, for sure.
Can get into some highlighting and some real like more detailed stuff afterwards.
It does look good.
All right. Where we are with our old mind camera there. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. This guy.
Nice. Oh, yeah, that's looking good.
A giant spine for a walking stick. And it's still like
nice.
How'd they get it so straight?
Well, it's that person that's always had that broomstick up there,
Right, right.
Boy.
It kept it straight. All right. So, and where I'm at is I've based the humpback. I've based a lot of the big guy here on stuff. So
that guy out looking awesome.
Yeah. And then based some of the walrus here now.
Oh, walrus. Oh man, the flesh on him. That's great.
Yeah.
You should nickname him Paul.
Paul?
Because he is the walrus.
The Beatles is a Beatles reference?
That was a Beatles reference.
Yeah.
That's why I don't get it. I'm not a Beatles fan.
I was singing the Beatles lyrics for "I'm the Walrus" like 2 episodes ago or whatever.
Nice.
And no one was biting. No one was biting at all. You're like, Mark is on dance again.
Sorry. All right, everybody. So we're at time. We appreciate everybody that joined us today. Thank you so much to Mage Clans and others that have talked to us in the chat today. And a big shout out and thank you to Mark and Will for always making it look good here on camera. The miniatures, everything, and showing us how to really paint. Until next time, I am your host, Rick.
I'm Will.
I'm Mark.
And we'll see you at your friendly local game store.